Alright guys, here she is, Miss Captain Underpants herself. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are reviewing the Buffbunny Undead Collection. I know you guys have been waiting for this. I've gotten an unprecedented amount of DMs asking me my thoughts. And you guys already know my thoughts, okay? We will get into that in a minute, but this is the Undead Collection. It is launching on Saturday, October 8th at 1 PM CST, the usual Buffbunny time. This collection is a little bit of an interesting juxtaposition of some like super bold, dark vibes. And then we have some like girly pastels. The inspo behind this launch, from what I could tell on Instagram, was kind of like the two sides of like a woman, you know, pre-zombie and then her zombie era, which is kind of that light versus dark. But I watched the behind the designs and apparently it was supposed to be like a Scream Queens theme, which I think makes a little more sense. Regardless, you guys probably already know at this point that the October launches, they tend to be kind of like spooky-ish theme. First there was Rebel, then there was Mad Scientist, and now there's Undead. They tend to kind of be like my least favorite launch of the year, just because I love kind of more like wearable items. And when it comes to a fall activewear launch, my personal fave is like the deep reds, the rusty oranges, the browns, kind of just general fall tones, which this launch is very much not that. So this launch may be some people's cup of tea. It is personally not mine. There are, however, some tops and layering pieces that I think are still worth taking a look at, but in terms of the bottoms are mostly not for me this launch. Anyways, if you happen to shop the launch and find my review helpful, you can use code Kathryn and it'll give you 10% off your order. Also, this is the time where I start to remind people Black Friday is about a month away. In terms of this collection, the newer collections only tend to be like 10 to max 20% off, but just something to think about. Okay, and without further ado, let's start getting into it. So in terms of launch colors, there are some solids. You know, there really aren't any like new colors, which makes my life easy because I don't think I have to do new color comparisons. And the effort that goes into the color comparisons every time involves me like destroying my entire like Buffbunny folded collection and then having to refold it at the end. If there's something I hate, it's refolding clothes. So very excited to not have to do that. Anyways, we have the usual onyx black, white, ivory, midnight navy, tuxedo blue, stone, which is like a lightish gray, donut worry, which is like a lighter tan, avo green, which I believe was from the Journey collection, and I really love that green, and blush. Then we got some bold patterns. So there is Argyle, which is a new print, and they will have black and white, and blue Argyle, which is the tuxedo blue and midnight navy together. Black and white jacquard cheetah. So we'll go into this when we review this Hellraiser crop. It is a jacquard, which means the print is woven into the fabric. The triggered print, which I just checked my closet. I swear I had this triggered print in my mind. Like, I just totally thought I had it. Apparently I don't. But I do like that print. I always love black and white prints because you can so easily pair just any color top with them, and I just feel like it's a cute little combo. Mood ring holographic. I'm wearing the black, like kind of like oil stain holographic from last year's Mad Scientist collection. But the mood ring is super pretty. It's like a bluish purple. Then there's Midas Touch, which is like kind of a goldish foil, grounded olive viper, white viper, and black viper. And I was kind of torn on starting with the pieces that I like, which are like the tops, or if we want to just get right into the leggings that everyone wants me to talk about. So I think, you know, we will serve what the people want today. And up first is the Samba Leggings. The Samba Leggings, they go by many names. You could call them the Samba Leggings, you could call them the Coochie Cutters, you could call them the Jazzercise inspired leggings. There's just, the list goes on. So these were the leggings that everyone had been messaging me about, asking my thoughts, and you guys have seen that on multiple occasions I have talked about how I do not like the outside of my leggings to look like I am wearing underwear. We just talked about this with the Gymshark Sweat Seamless. They had that little like thong outline on the back. Didn't make any sense to me. Gymshark had a similar situation actually with the Gymshark KK Fit leggings, which I also thought was a bad idea. You guys really thought I would sit here and pretend that this was my style? you're incorrect. So yes, in case anyone wanted to have the appearance of wearing underwear on the outside of their leggings, your wish has come true. And I do like kind of see what they're doing here. This is, unfortunately, I've seen many a brand do this at this point. Like I said, Gymshark kind of did this with the KK Fit leggings. Skims actually did this with their leather leggings, but just because Skims doesn't mean it's a good look. I saw those like Skims leather leggings that had this and I thought they were atrocious. Really, not something I would ever wear. And those even have the seams in the same color. So the outline seams, they're just not for me. Also, Buffbunny got rid of the front seam like 2 years ago. So what did they do? They brought back not one front seam, but two. One per lip. In case they were feeling left out, we got one per each side. Another issue I have that I will get in with the try on, because I did actually wear these for a workout today, guys. I wore the all black ones because there were actually people in my little apartment gym and I couldn't be seen wearing these. I already feel like I'm pretty on the narrow side down there. Little TMI. Even then, this is pretty thin. It's giving like minuscule bikini coverage. Anyways, we need to move on. Some other features. So they are double lined in this bikini area, which is like part of the reason why they were like advertising this. Oh, it's like extra tummy control. Again, there are ways to have tummy control without the two seams. There's even ways to double line this, I feel like, without having a visible seam on the outside. If you just put another layer on the inside, I don't know, just brainstorming. I just don't think this has to be the only way. So these leggings are Newbury fabric, which is my favorite Buffbunny fabric. They're like a dense, brushed, super soft, 26-inch inseam. They do have the seams down the back as well. I know some people don't like the seam that goes down because it looks like kind of like a G-string situation. I actually did kind of like this in like the wave shorts and the Loch Ness leggings. So this part personally doesn't bother me, but this front part, yes, that bothers me. There's no official gusset. It kind of just goes around and wraps up into the seam in the back. And then there's actually a top band in these, which I don't really know if the top band was necessary, but this was very tight and very uncomfortable during my workout today. And some top seams are very functional, especially in a performance legging where it helps the legging stay up, because performance leggings can have the issue of sliding down. But personally, Newbury leggings have a good amount of grip and stay up well enough for me that I don't really think a top band is super necessary. Anyways, the rest of the leggings are pretty seamless. There is the contrast stitching around the bottom, and we're back to just the classic Buffbunny silver foil logo. Also, yes, I straightened my hair today. I mostly just didn't want to go through the effort of curling it. Sometimes it takes a while. And I was holding Pinto earlier and he got scared by something and like jumped away from me and got my neck a little bit. So it looks like I have bug bites, but it was just little Pinto claw marks. All right, guys, here she is, Miss Captain Underpants herself. Here are the leggings, guys, and I have to say, I did a workout in these this morning, and in the behind the designs video, Heidi was saying like she wasn't a big fan of the leggings, but then she tried them on and like her opinion changed because of how they felt. If anything, my opinion is worse now that I've tried these on, because they just like, they kind of pinch in places you don't want them to pinch, seams settle in areas you don't want them to. I personally wear underwear under all of my leggings, and I have spent a long time picking a pair of underwear that never gives me a front wedgie. But with these leggings, with these thin seams, like I really more end right here. The seams are obviously a little narrower than that. And because of that, I kind of felt these seams kind of sitting a little more central than where I wanted them to sit, if you know what I mean. Like my underwear is out here and the seams are here. So while I didn't ever like, eat up the seams per se, it did kind of give me the sensation of my underwear slipping from where it should be and kind of giving me a front wedgie feeling. So does it feel better than a front seam? Sure. But it does just kind of pinch the lips a little bit in a way that I didn't really love. The rest of these seams I don't have a problem with, although my underwear kind of sits a little bit lower, so I had to pull it up a little bit to hide under the thickened waistband part. And then as you can see up here, like I honestly, like let me do a little measurement. I am just curious what my current waist measurement is, because it's been a little while since I've measured. We're right at about a 26, maybe pushing to 26.5. And the size chart for a small, which is what these leggings are, is a 27 to 28 inch waist. An extra small is a 25 to 27, which is technically where I fall. So if I'm wearing a small, my waist is already smaller than the small measurement should be, and these are like these are really pinching my waist. But throughout my workout, when I was like leaning over to things, it like intensely pinches my skin. I feel like even just standing straight, like core somewhat engaged, we can still see the legging kind of make my waist come in and out. So it has that little muffin top effect. And throughout my workout, I was constantly just picking at the waistband because it just felt so annoying to have that be like cutting in so intensely. So if I had to recommend a size, I would probably size it up in these. They're decently compressive everywhere else as well. But I mean, I honestly don't really recommend these much at all, but if you are interested in them, I would definitely consider sizing up because of this band. Now onto the front part. So it is a double thickness. I can definitely feel it's thinner in the fabric down here than it is here. So you do get that extra lower tummy control in this area. It honestly doesn't feel that much different than some of their like little crossover waist leggings that dip down as well. And even people who like lower tummy control, it comes at a price, you know, and this is too large of a price to pay for me. I did wear the ones with the black on black seams today, and I will say they really weren't very noticeable, but they still have the discomfort of this little seam right there. So there's that. Other than that, just the classic Newbury material. I'm gonna give them like medium high compression overall. I feel like they're just feeling a teeny bit snug, so we're just gonna go with medium to high compression. They definitely are flattering on the glutes. This is very similar to the Loch Ness leggings. So you have that little G-string seam, but the glute contour seams do go above the glutes, which is always a little bit flattering. These mostly come in dark colors, so I would say they're all gonna be pretty cellulite friendly. The Newbury fabric is a little bit on the thicker side as well. And then they are 26-inch inseam, so they're about an ankle length on me. The black Newbury is definitely going to collect a good amount of pet fur somehow. I haven't gotten too much on myself yet, but you can see, I like even when I'm in between clips, I keep picking with this seam. So for many reasons, these are not going to be a legging that I recommend today. I think you guys probably agree with that, but you know, we talked about it, we did it. So I actually didn't get most of the leggings today. Some of them I do have from like previous collections, but Rosa leggings are back. So Rosa leggings will only be coming in the Argyle prints. So Buffbunny printed leggings like the Bossy prints, etc. They tend to be a little more compressive than the solids. So I would expect these Argyle Rosa leggings to be like medium high compression. If you've ever sized down in Rosa leggings, I feel like probably not for the prints. So true to size. They're a high rise legging. They have no front seam. The waistband dips down slightly in the front, and then the seams in the back do just gently contour the glutes. There's no top band. These are also a 26-inch inseam, and they're just a very basic legging silhouette, but they got that Argyle pattern going, which the Argyle pattern to me is giving very Harley Quinn and very costumey, and I just don't know how I would like get a lot of use out of those leggings. Then we have the Hellraiser leggings. I don't know guys, these might be worse than the Samba leggings, if you ask me. Maybe not the black ones, but the white ones. First of all, they brought back the bikini seam, but it's like almost worse like in the white, because with a white material, there's always going to be some expectations of slight sheerness. You can just tell that the white is sheer, so they put the bikini seam detail double thickness, so it's like opaque white in the bikini area, which just looks like you're seeing your like white bikini underwear underneath the leggings. And then they added extra seams in the back panels as well to make it more squat proof. But I saw a picture of it on the Buffbunny Instagram, and it literally looked like butt padding or something. I was not a big fan of the Flower Power leggings in That 70s collection, even though I actually love Buffbunny jacquard materials because I love like a woven print, and they tend to be just like a little extra stretchy. Just for reference, this is going to be the print of the Hellraiser leggings. This is the Hellraiser crop, but it's like a puffy, like stretchy performance material. So I love the jacquard materials, but like the Flower Power leggings, they were just super heavy, and I've heard the same about the Hellraiser leggings, just a super heavy legging. And I just don't love the extra paneling on the glutes. I know it makes it more squat proof, but it also just gives you like a total pancake butt. And if there's something your girl likes, it's some cheek separation. I wanna see both cheeks. I wanna see them right next to each other. I don't want one pancake cheek. So the Hellraiser leggings, not gonna be a top pick for me. In fact, they'd be a bottom pick. So I don't know if these have a top band or not, but they definitely have the bikini seam detail. They're a 26-inch inseam, and they have the double lining on the bikini area and the back panel. So a pair of leggings that has come back from the Mad Scientist collection that I actually loved these last year are the Viper leggings. So these are a cross waist legging, and I love the Buffbunny cross waist. It's a nice like high cross waist. Some cross waists I feel like are so dipped down that just like it's too much torso for me. They're seamless at the top. They have a V that kind of dips down so you get a little lower tummy control. And these do not have the legacy seam detailing that most of the Buffbunny crosswaist has. It just has kind of like the Rebel curved glute seam detail. So still contours the glutes, but there's no like butterfly seams. The Buffbunny logo in this one is actually embroidered black into the fabric. So it's very subtle. And what I like about these is I have actually worn these to the gym, and they are stretchy, they are functional, they're not too hot, but these could definitely be like a faux leather lifestyle legging, and they're just super comfy. So these are a 26-inch inseam as well. They have like an outer kind of like scaled detail. The color of this one is technically Black Dragon. And then the inside of the legging is actually brushed, so it's super soft against your skin. Here is the outside, is this little scale detail, and the inside is a brushed material. So these tend to still be very flattering on the glutes, about like a medium compression. The fabric is super stretchy, so it's not super compressive. They have a smaller triangle gusset, so it's very hidden. And I have worn and washed these now a couple times. I know some people were concerned about how these would hold up in the wash, but I just washed them inside out, and the scales look good as new if you ask me. So if you're looking for like kind of like a faux leather legging, I actually really like these ones. And then one of my favorite performance leggings from Buffbunny, the Rebel leggings, are back. I just love the Rebel legging silhouette. Double thickness compressive waistband, no front seam, and these glute seams that just perfectly contour the glutes. So this is last year's black hollow print, but this year they have the mood ring holographic and the triggered print, both of which I feel like would be pretty good options. There's something about this one that doesn't make me really want to wear it to the gym. It just feels a little hot, almost like wearing like leather leggings, you know? So they have been okay at the gym. They just don't always feel the most breathable. They are very performance though, and they hold up really well. Definitely a little more on the compressive side, especially in these holographic prints. So I'd give them about like medium high compression, as well as medium high on the booty scale with these flattering seams. And these ones are also a 26-inch inseam. And then there's the Rebel leggings V2. I did not get these, but they're going to be the same shape as the Rebel leggings we just went over. So no front seam, curved glute seams, 26-inch inseam. And the only difference is that these are made of a slightly different material. These are made of a nylon spandex, which is the same composition as the Viper leggings. So I haven't tried these myself, and I can't speak to the exact fabric composition, but by the appearance of it, my guess is that they are the same as the Viper leggings. So they're going to be maybe a little less compressive than the other Rebel leggings, maybe a little bit softer on the inside. But if you like any of those prints, I still feel like these would be a solid legging. I'd probably stick true to size. So onto shorts of the launch. As we head into fall, there are not very many short options, and as you know, guys, there's only going to be 4 inches. I think it's too late for any 5 to 6 to 7 inch short for the year. Just now that we're entering fall and people are wearing more leggings and Buffbunny tends to launch less shorts, I just feel like we're not going to see any longer shorts until next year. Very unfortunate. We survived a whole year with only 4-inch shorts. To be fair, there was a 10-inch biker, but those are also too long. Anyways, we have the wave shorts, which I have actually never tried these updated wave shorts. The first initial wave shorts launched in the Under the Sea collection, and I've been sitting around here saying, oh yeah, they used to be 5 inches. They used to be 5 inches. Someone commented on my Instagram post where I said that. They were like, actually they were 6 inches. I was like, oh, maybe they weren't 5 inches. So I went back to my old video, and guess what? They were 7 inches. 7 inches. So the wave shorts actually used to be 7 inches, and they also used to be energy fabric. Now they are made of the same material as the Loch Ness leggings, so like kind of a performance on the outside and brushed on the inside, and just kind of a little less performance than the Elysium fabric. But anyways, I thought this was a cute way to do the contrast seams that didn't involve having underwear lines, you know? And like I said, I don't really mind this little like G-string type seam, especially on these. I feel like there's so many seams back here that it just kind of makes sense to have it all there. So size small as usual, 4-inch inseam. We have a semi-extended crotch gusset here, tapered waistband, no top seam. With the wave shorts, you can kind of either pair it with like the darker color or the piping contrast color. All right, so here are the wave shorts made of that kind of like soft performance material of the Loch Ness leggings. So these ones are a pretty high rise short. They go up above my belly button, no seam at the top. Definitely true to size. I'm not feeling squished in the thigh area either. So I would say they are thick thigh friendly. True to size. If you're in between, I may size up. No front seam. Then we have the contrast stitching that I feel like is super cute on the sides here. Overall compression is, it's kind of light to medium. It's actually pretty low. And then we have the back with the little seams. So I'm starting to like downgrade, I feel like, a lot of Buffbunny stuff to maybe just like medium on the booty scale, just because I don't get a lot of like glute separation, which is never like a bad thing, but it does have seams that curve up and around the hips. So maybe these still deserve medium to high, but you guys let me know in the comments down below. Should these be medium or medium to high? And then these are a 4-inch inseam, which unfortunately is a little bit short for me. So these will roll up on me at the gym. So they're just not the most functional choice for me. I'll still wear them because it's still hot outside and I want to give them a good try. But 4 inches always rolls for me. So still waiting for the day that they bring out some longer shorts. Not like super long, just slightly longer. But yeah, if you like a little performance short and you like 4 inches, I do like these. Kind of expected it because they're very similar to the Loch Ness leggings. So they're also bringing back the Rebel shorts. So the Rebel shorts are exactly the same as the Rebel leggings. They're made of the Elysium fabric. They're stretchy, they're performance. They have no front seam and they have the curved glute seams, but they are a 4-inch inseam. So in the white Rebel, I found them to be like a little bit compressive, but everything else is usually pretty true to size. So I would stick true to size, but size up if you're in between. And then the Legacy shorts. We kind of get into a weird area here where there's just one pair of bottoms in the Avo green color. And I just don't really understand. I feel like that was kind of just like thrown in there and it feels a little bit out of place. But the Legacy shorts are back. These are a 4-inch inseam short with the butterfly back detail, seamless waistband. The Legacy shorts are actually an inch less in the rise than the Legacy leggings. And in the solid colors of Legacy shorts, I find them to be super stretchy, super thick thigh friendly. So definitely no need to size up in the solids, which there's only the one solid color launching. If you're in between, you could probably go either way. Personally, I'd probably size up just to be safe. But yeah, I just don't really understand why there's only one thing in the Avo green. There are some tops in the Avo green, but I love the Avo green. I just would have loved to see maybe a pair of leggings, just like maybe a little bit more than just one pair of 4-inch shorts. And now onto the second to last section, sports bras and tops. So we're gonna start out with the Alpha Bra. They are bringing back the Alpha Bra. Everyone has been asking for the Alpha Bra for like a year and a half. It's been so long since they've launched the Alpha Bra. And what did I do? What did I do? You guys have been begging for the Alpha Bra and they bring it back only in the Argyle colors. Like, we don't want the Argyle colors, we want the solids. People want like a black, a white. I love my white Alpha Bra. I can pair it with anything. It's super cute. Love the open back. So I just knew there would be so much disappointment when I saw the Alpha Bra only coming in Argyle because that's not what we wanted. So I'm hoping maybe there's more Alpha Bras to come later this year. I do think the Argyle Alpha Bra is a good way to have like just like a little bit of the Argyle print with like a solid bottom if you do like the print but you don't want like a full legging. Anyways, the Alpha Bra is this beautiful bra. It's got like kind of like a triangle shape in the front. It's not the most large cup size friendly. It has 2 bands along the bottom and my bust does kind of slip in to that first little band. So I still am able to make it work, but it's definitely not super large cup size friendly. Definitely a low coverage, low support. I still will wear mine from time to time, but I don't wear them that often just because they are a lot of cleavage and I do kind of have to situate myself a little bit at the gym with it. But sometimes we sacrifice function for cuteness and I will still wear mine. And I do love how it looks. They also have a super cute little crisscross back situation and definitely true to size. If you're in between, I'd probably size up. Then I'm super excited because the Candy Wrap sports bra is back. So I got this in white this time because I love the Candy Wrap sports bra. This is from the Sugar Rush collection and it's just so cute. Great coverage, really perks the girls up, adjustable straps. It also has a little cute crisscross strap detail in the back made of little elastic straps. But before I got it in the rainwater blue and I just feel like I couldn't really wear it with a lot of different colors. So I love just getting a basic white in my favorite sports bras just so I can wear it with any color bottoms. And I just get so much use out of my white sports bras. So super excited that Candy Wrap is back. But we talked about this on my live. So now that we're getting into sports bras again, someone was mentioning the cut pads in my live, and I'm just not super pleased with the cut pads in this candy wrap bra here today. As you can see, they're a little flimsier than what Buffbunny normally does. Mine came pretty crinkled up, which is kind of hard to uncrinkle a cut pad. And I actually prefer a white cut pad in a white sports bra than a nude. You can kind of see them both. It's really hard with a white sports bra, but I feel like I just prefer the white because when you have the nude in it, you'll see when we do the try on, it kind of looks like there's just this area of nude underneath. But yeah, something that I always really loved about Buffbunny was their cut pads, and I got 3 different bras this collection, and I just really wasn't very happy with the cut pads. This is the cut pad for the Hellraiser sports bra, and again, it's also pretty crinkled, a little bit thinner than normal. And this is the cut pad for the Ivy crop. This is definitely the most similar to what Buffbunny normally does. They do the matching color. They do it in this like kind of larger oval shape with like a tapered edge. And this one is not crinkled at all. The Ivy crop definitely got the long end of the stick with the better cut pads, but it still almost feels a little bit flimsier. Okay, so I just grabbed a cut pad from the Buffbunny collection. This one feels a little bit stiffer than this one. Like you can tell this one's just like a little bit more flexible. So this is, again, the old one. This is the new one. But I'm still actually happy with the cut pad in the Ivy crop. This one's an old Buffbunny one, and actually this one does have a couple crinkles, and I take very good care of my cut pads in the washing process. So yeah, I can't speak to all of the sports bras, but definitely the Ivy crop has good cut pads. Not loving the cut pads in the candy wrap or the Hellraiser. The candy wrap sports bra. So this side does not have a cut pad in it. This one does. You can definitely see the cut pad in the white. It's just really challenging for a white sports bra to be opaque enough not to have that. So I think I'm actually gonna do it without the cut pads because I don't really feel like, I feel like the fabric is thick enough and there's enough seams here that I don't really need the cut pads. Anyways, here's the candy wrap bra. I love this bra. I hope this becomes a new staple for Buffbunny, just like the Rosa bras and everything. In a way, I kind of like it better than the Rosa bra because it has those adjustable straps, and I feel like I get a little bit better side coverage. Definitely scoops away from the armpit a little bit, but I don't feel like I get side boob from this one. We're gonna go medium to full coverage just because there is a peak of cleavage here. So I feel like I may have labeled it as full in the past, but we're gonna stick with medium to full at this point. I love the little wrap detail. It's so flattering, and the addition of like this extra fabric down here just kind of perks the girls up a little bit. I will say it's a pretty snug bra. If you're someone who doesn't like a lot of compression in your sports bras, like this is pretty tight for me. I would consider a size up. Love that you can adjust the straps. They have thick adjustable elastic straps. It's also like a softer elastic as well. And then this is also elastic in the back here. But yeah, just a very flattering sports bra. This one really holds me into place. Like, I'm not jiggling even like a little bit. So I'm just gonna give it medium to high support. It's like if I taped each girl into place, this is exactly how it would be. Flattering, it's good coverage, it's functional. I can wear this to the gym and no one's fallen out. I don't have to adjust or anything. This is definitely a bra that I would purchase in like black, white, you know, the basics, just so I could always have it to pair with my gym fits. Something else about this bra is that it has all of this support at the base without having any elastics. It's just like the layering of the fabric. So I feel like it's good for like large and small cup sizes, because the large cup sizes, there's no elastic that you're gonna kind of like run into with space wise. Like sometimes I feel like my bust needs a little more space than the elastic provides. But small cup sizes, it's just gonna look slightly more like a crop on you than a shorter bra. This one, I wouldn't quite call it long line, but it's definitely not as short as like the high roller sports bra or something like that. And then here is a closer view of the back. Then, as we've already kind of alluded to, the Hellraiser crop. So this one is definitely more of a crop bra. So it is long line. There's a little bit of a stitch along the bottom, but it's not like an elastic band. There's another stitch right below the bust area. There is a space for cut pads that is kind of sewn along the edges so that they can't all, you know, go everywhere throughout the top. It's got kind of a high neck detail with a like semi racer back. They have the silver coin logo sewn onto the back here, and it zips down to here as well. And like we already talked about, this is the jacquard fabric, so kind of this like puffy leopard. Okay, so we have the Hellraiser crop and some twisted up cut pads. Okay, so I've kind of smoothed out the cut pads as much as I can so far, but they are just like a little bit crinkled, unfortunately. So you can kind of see the difference between the double lined section and the single lined. This is just going to be a little bit more sheer because it is white. So we have that kind of a raised jacquard. I think the fabric is unique and I do really like their jacquards, but personally I've kind of been done with like a leopard for a while. Here's the back, very plain, with the coin logo. And while there is a seam at the bottom, it's not like an elastic like the ivy crop, so it's not cutting into me. And you have a similar situation on the top that you have on the 7Cs crop. So you can kind of keep it like this for like a little keyhole. You can totally undo that, or you can zip it up all the way for more coverage. So overall for the coverage, I'm going to go with a full coverage because it actually covers the side boob very well. And then once it's zipped up, there's obviously full coverage. Support is about a medium. This fabric is pretty stretchy, so it's not like compressing me down as intensely as like the Rosa V2, but I still honestly would feel pretty comfortable doing more intense workouts in this. Since I don't have like the Hellraiser bottoms to pair with it, first of all, I didn't really like them. I don't love mixing textures with my activewear. I kind of like to stay in a similar fabric. So because I just have the jacquard top, I feel like it's kind of hard for me to pair this with a bottom, but I am just wearing these little bottoms right now, which I also wouldn't really pair them with. So for that reason, I probably won't get a lot of use out of this. I'm also noticing that there is a seam along the edge here and it feels just a tiny bit itchy, so I would just be careful of that because this could kind of irritate your skin over time. And then in terms of sizing, I think it's pretty true to size. If you're in between, it might size up just because of this little seam thing. So again, we've talked about this before, but this is the Revolution V2 to go with those Viper leggings. So it's that black dragon material, brushed on the inside, so nice and soft against the girls. Cut pads, square neckline. This one is a long line as well. Has that same black embroidered logo, which I just feel like is a nice touch. Just like I feel like a silver logo here would have just been a little too much against the black. And then the classic Revolution strappiness in the back. This one has pretty decent coverage. I'd say about medium coverage. It's got good side boob coverage as well. And compared to some of the older Revolution bras, I feel like I didn't really fall out of this one quite as much, and about a medium support as well. And Rosa Sports Bra V2, I am wearing this right now. It's gonna come in the mood ring and triggered print. It has the same silhouette as the regular Rosa Sports Bra. Scooped neckline, long line, and crisscross straps in the back. The Rosa Bra V2, I always find a little bit more compressive. So if you're in between sizes, definitely size up. I personally don't mind having a little extra compression. You can always get just like a teeny bit of side boob with these bras as well, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, definitely a medium to full coverage, and it can be a medium to high support depending on what size you get. In my size small, I'm definitely getting a medium high support because I'm nice and compressed and contained. Then a piece I'm super excited that they're bringing back is the ivy crop. They did kind of like spontaneously bring these back in the summer. They were supposed to be part of the Sugar Rush collection, but then they didn't make it, so they launched like a month later, and then I didn't end up getting any. But these are super cute, definitely a crowd favorite. So they have a high neckline, then little straps, and then a super cute strappy back detail. These launched in the Blooming collection last year. So it's a top, but it's really like more of a bra type top. So as you can see, there are cup pads on the inside, but there's no elastic at the bottom of the cup pads. I find it has enough compression to kind of keep me where I need to be, but you don't have that kind of like lifting sensation that you get when you have a little elastic below the bust. And then there is actually like a band slash elastic at the bottom of the top, which we will get into in the try on, but I did not love that. I guess I kind of forgot that it had it. But yeah, this one is just coming in a bunch of super wearable solid colors. You got the Avo green, the tuxedo blue. So this one's definitely a top pick, and because there's not a lot of wearable pieces this collection, I feel like this one's gonna go fast. Okay, so here's the ivy crop, and I did wear this 2 nights in a row to play some pickleball. And because it doesn't have that elastic underneath, when I was sweating, it did show kind of in the under boob area. So definitely not completely sweat proof. I feel like if they had that elastic, the inner bra lining would absorb a little more of the sweat and I probably wouldn't see it as much from the outside. But either way, I still think this top is super cute, and it's a really good way to have like a sports bra type top with a little bit more coverage, and you have the super cute strappy back. I recently reviewed the Camo Fitness Hannah top, and that one has a similar back, except it's just straight across instead of like crisscrossed. That one I definitely felt a little more compressed, supported, and a little more coverage as well. This one is spaghetti straps. I kind of thought that it cut into my traps a little more. I think they have slightly modified it, so it didn't bother me quite as much up there. But in terms of coverage, I do get some side boob, as you can see here. Doesn't totally bother me because that often happens with high neck tops, but I'm gonna give it a medium to full coverage because of that. And it's not like really keeping the girls where they should be. So for my larger cup size ladies, I really wouldn't do a lot of activity in this top. I'm gonna give it a light to medium support. If you're in between sizes, I would almost want to size down just for more compression and support because you don't have any elastic to provide the support. But I would worry about these bands cutting in, so kind of weigh your options. If you size down, the band and the straps might be tight, but if you size up, you're going to be getting less support and compression. We do have the cup pads here. Again, I liked the cup pads on this top. And then yeah, I just like really wish they didn't have the elastic at the bottom. Like there is this like elastic band, kind of similar to the band at the top of the Samba leggings. And I just wish it wasn't there, because not that it's a problem, but when I'm like leaning over in the car, like, you know, as I said, I was on my way to play pickleball with this, it just like cuts in when you're like, you know, not having your best posture, which aesthetically doesn't really bother me, but it can just be a little bit painful. So this little bottom band just kind of gave me a little bit of discomfort, but I still wear it. I still think it's a super cute top. Love the length, and you can't beat that back. Then the Heartbreaker sports bra. So apparently this one sold out very quickly last year. I actually got 2 colors of this last year. Personally, I just do not really love this one. So first of all, I don't love the elastic that everything is kind of lined with. I don't know if they changed it, but I always felt like mine always had a couple like little loose strings that were kind of popping off. And this was like one of the only times at the gym where I felt like I really had to wear a top over my sports bra, because I just like completely settled into this little opening situation, and it's just too much under mid-boob cleavage area, and I wasn't a huge fan. The straps are adjustable, which is super nice, and it is like a comfortable elastic. It's not like an itchy elastic. It's definitely a little bit more on the softer side, kind of like the candy wrap, but let's just try this on. All right, so here is the Heartbreaker bra. So we have the elastic detail. I figured I'd switch into the green color because you can kind of see the contrast between the kind of performance material and the elastic more. Something about the way the elastic comes together, I don't know, something about it is just not my favorite. I can see the benefit of this bra being like very breathable, especially down here, but for me, this is where my boob sweat tends to come out. So whenever I wear a bra like this with a little cutout at the gym, I literally drop sweat drops like onto the floor, and they'll just like fall right out. So maybe it's liberating. I don't know. Sometimes I just prefer just to kind of keep it in there, you know, just make it my problem, not everyone else's. Anyways, true to size, the elastic band fits me well here. And then, like I said, you are able to adjust the straps in the back. The straps are actually very similar to the candy wrap bra. Other than that, the back is very open, and yeah, I would also say this one's true to size, maybe like a tiny bit snug. So if you're in between, I would size up. I think my little eyelash section is kind of coming off this eye right now. But this is my last thing that I'm filming, so we're just gonna leave it, okay? So the issue for me is that if I kind of position it so I have a little bit of cleavage here, throughout my workout, I just kind of fall into this space. And I remember like at the end of my workout one time, I was like protruding out like this, and it was just like a little uncomfortable. It's like not real, just not a place where my girls need to be. So this is a bra that I definitely have to situate and adjust a little bit. Other than that, the coverage, I'm actually gonna go with medium coverage because you got good side boob coverage, really not a ton of top cleavage. It's just this little peak here, which some people might not even get any cleavage out of it, depending on your shape and where your girls kind of sit. So medium coverage, support, it's also about a medium. It's a little bit better than I remembered actually. So it's actually really not a bad bra. Maybe I'll give it another try. I do have it in the black, so I could definitely give this one another go and see how it feels in the gym. I'll keep you guys updated on my Instagram story, but now that I work out mostly in my apartment gym, I feel like I'm a little more brave with the outfits that I wear, so we'll see. And then we've had this before, but the Spice crop jacket. So I haven't had this in a while, but this one's a nice layering piece as we go into fall because it's still super lightweight. They added thumb holes, which is super cute. It's made of the Spice mesh, which is kind of like a stretchy type mesh, which I love. Anything that has stretch to it. Got a hood, full zip. Let's try it on. Okay, so we got the Spice crop jacket. So first thing is, this might be a new addition, but they do have thumb holes now, and any opportunity to have thumb holes, I want them. I love how stretchy the mesh is, and it's like a soft, non-itchy mesh as well. Okay, so just zipping this up, it does have a little like double thickness, almost like an elastic at the bottom that is pretty snug. So I would say it is true to size if you want a snug fit, but if you're looking for something slightly more relaxed, I would definitely size up. We got the hood, which personally I'll never wear the hood, but it's there. And it is a mesh, so it's going to be pretty sheer, but also super lightweight. It's not gonna weigh you down. Here's the back. You can see my Alpha sports bra underneath. Wish was coming in solid colors, but that's okay. So I feel like this would be super cute with like the Legacy pink bossies together. I'm coming up with outfit ideas. That would actually be super cute. This probably isn't something I'd spend my entire workout wearing, which makes me a little more, you know, hesitant to buy a piece like this because I like to like mostly focus on things that I'm going to like, you know, wear throughout my workout, but it is a cute layering piece. And then the last piece that I have that I'm super excited about is the 7 Seas top. So I saw this one in the Under the Sea collection, and I was always just kind of like, okay, you know, it's nothing super special, but I see Heidi wearing this like all the time, and she's always wearing it like open for like a little pop of like the sports bra underneath or cleavage, and it just always looks so cute. So it's made of a nylon spandex, and it is just like almost just very lightly brushed. It's not quite as like fuzzy soft as the Nubri. It's a little bit more lightweight. And the inside is sleek. So still is gonna be lightweight even though it's a long sleeve. This one does have thumb holes as well. And yeah, it has this little like half zip detail that you can kind of secure on the top so that it almost creates this little keyhole detail. So I just got it in black so that it could easily be layered with many things. Let's try it. So the 7 Seas top. I actually really love this material. It's like a performance like brushed fabric, which I feel like they don't do enough. So the top is pretty snug, especially around like the wrist area. I felt like that was like a little bit challenging to get on. Now that it's on, it's not really a problem, but just keep that in mind. The thumb holes also have like this little overlapped detailing, which is just a little detail that I feel like just elevates it a little bit. And this is it completely unzipped. So I always see, oh, so the top is just a hook and eye. So you can just do the little hook and eye, and then this is probably a little more boobylicious than I would normally go for, but you can wear it like this, have a little peek of your sports bra underneath. You can zip it up a little bit more just for like a little peek, and the zipper actually locks into place. So I'm pulling on it right now. It's staying put. It has this little almost like plasticky like neoprene section around the zipper, which I feel like makes it a little more swim-like in a way, or you can zip it up all the way. Personally, I'd probably have it zipped down just like a little bit because I feel like a little peekaboo. It's kind of cute. Definitely a snug fit. I probably wouldn't size up because it might be baggy in like awkward places, but if you're in between, I would choose the larger size, not the smaller size. Stays put pretty well. I'm wearing the Alpha bra, which is pretty long underneath, and this is a solid like inch below that. So it's cropped, but it's not like below the bra length cropped. It's not cutting into me anywhere. The back is pretty plain, and it's definitely an additional layer, but it's not like super hot. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of use out of this. And the last thing that we'll be launching is the Dreamy jogger set. So I think they kind of decided to launch this last minute because they didn't send it to any of the athletes or affiliates. They actually did launch these 2.5 years ago in like this collection in January. I remember I actually did try this collection on when I visited Buffbunny like 3 years ago in December, but I was never sent the actual collection to review. So I do actually remember loving it. It's like this super soft, cozy collection. It's not like an oversized baggy sweat set. It's like more of like a cute little sweat set. Got this like a boat neck style top that you can kind of wear off the shoulder or off one shoulder. It is a cropped top situation situation. And then high-rise joggers with little pockets in the back. I believe I remember sizing down in the top because it was super oversized, but they did say that they fixed the sizing. So my general recommendation and what I would choose would just be sticking with your normal top and bottom size. So I'm glad we didn't totally skip out on any lounge sets this launch because I love a good lounge set, but I wish I could try that and share for you guys. So that is it for the review. Again, there's really not a lot of bottoms that I really loved this collection. I have to say, if I had to choose one, maybe the Viper leggings. I still really like those. And I do like the Rebel leggings as well, specifically the triggered print, because sometimes the holographics, like I said, I don't love to work out in. So let's say the Viper leggings, the triggered print Rebel leggings, and then tops, definitely candy wrap, ivy crop, and maybe the 7Cs top as well. So I hope this review was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do end up shopping the launch, again, you can use code Kathryn for 10% off your order. Save you a little money. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!